planned the school like an umbrella for everything related to sport.
Right.
And now it's a little difficult to find anything that is related to sport and we don't have in the school, because we are offering programs from the business side, master in an MBA in sport management, sport law, marketing, communication, journalism. But then from the health area, nutrition, physiotherapy, physical activity.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Sporting Global podcast. And today I am here with Marisa. And Marisa, how are you? How's everything going?
Hello, Owe. Very well. Today is a little raining here in Spain, but we are very happy to be with you. Thank you very much for inviting us to your podcast.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure having you here. And we're going to talk a lot about, the Real Madrid Graduate School, Universidad Europea. And sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Very well, very well.
But yeah, we're super excited to learning more, of course, like what the school has to offer, some of the courses that are happening there. A little bit about, I guess, your philosophy on teaching and all the exciting things are happening in the sports education sector, But I think first and foremost, it's interesting for me, obviously you're the executive director at Real Madrid Graduate School, and I'm kind of curious, and I think a lot of people are also curious about how this collaboration between Universidad Europea and Real Madrid, began, and a little bit what is the key purpose behind it.
Yeah, that's a good point to start. I have to say that we started in the 2006. Right. That is not long time ago. At the end, it's just 15 years, but a lot for the industry, because at the end, 15 years ago, it wasn't so obvious that we have an industry related to sport, and that we need specific studies related to sport. So in the 2006, Real Madrid, that they received a lot of love from society. They have a lot of fans and followers, and they always want to give back to the society, part of this love. No, they do a lot of things with the foundation. Mr. Florentino Perez, who was the president also in the 2006, he thought that maybe education is a good way also to add value to this industry, and in fact to the society. And then they were looking for a partner to do it. At the same time, in Universidad Europea, we are always very close to the profession, very close to the avant-garde. And we were looking also for a relation with different partners in the industry. Then we mapped perfectly.
Perfect timing. Huh?
We started to do it because both also have the orientation, global orientation. And we started with very few students. I remember the free MBA that we have, it was 20 students. Now we are talking about more than, I think right now we have 600 students doing the programs, campus-based, but some thousands doing online, and it's progressing so well that we are really happy with this cooperation from the long time already.
Right. Yeah, no, it is a really valid point. 15 years, it's a long collaboration. And I think it's important, as you touched upon too, of sort of from the club side, one, seeing the opportunity of, utilizing the knowledge piece in academia to kind of strengthen their, presence and sharing their knowledge, right? I think football particularly, I have gotten a very, maybe bad image of being very closed, and just keeping their insights to themselves. And I guess this kind of helps, being more open to the fans, to people that want to work in the industry. So I think it's a very, key point to bring up, and having that for 15 years it's amazing.
Totally, and in some ways you think that all the great professionals of the club are there, no, in the field, like the players, that they are amazing. But when you go to the offices, when you go to the medical service, you realize that they have also the top in everything, not just in the soccer field, no?
Yeah, that's great for us. Best, at the end of the day, and one of the best clubs in the world, because you have to be best at every level, department of whether that's the players and whether that's the staff. It all comes together. It's not just about the players, and it's not just about the staff. At the end of the day, they have to find ways to monetize, to as you were saying as well, like understand that it's an industry, and then you need the right kind of people. And so having like I guess academic partner in Universidad Europea, it's, as you were saying, a perfect match right there. And if we're moving a little bit forward, I guess, to exploring here, what kind of programs are being offered at the Real Madrid Graduate School, and I guess like what are some of the key opportunities new students can experience while being part of it?
Yeah, that's also a good point. I have to say that we plan the school like an umbrella for everything related to sport.
Right.
And now it's a little difficult to find anything that is related to sport and we don't have in the school, because we are offering programs from the business side, master in an MBA in sport management, sport law, marketing, communication, journalism. But then from the health area, nutrition, physiotherapy, physical activity, but also from the sport area, training, coaching, sports psychology. I think almost everything. Probably, if you find something that we don't have, tell me, because we have to explore that also.
I'll keep that in mind. Maybe okay, we'll do like a brainstorm here with like all the viewers and just like they can. Is there anything missing? They want.
Yeah, if you think that there is something that we need to teach and it's not here, tell me. Yeah. But the umbrella is true, that is now very big. Right. The good thing is that we also offer in multiple options for all kind of necessities, campus-based, online, master degrees, but also short courses, in English, Spanish.
Right.
I think almost everything.
Yeah.
And the question that you mentioned about the experience, we can say a lot of things, but I think the probably the most important thing is the orientation from the beginning. When you put together the industry and the education, you have the best of both sides. In the industry, you are going to learn things that are not in the books, because the professor, the faculty that we have, they are going to teach you what is happening and what will happen, because they are the people that is doing the changes, no?
Yeah.
And also the best of education, no? The Universidad Europea is a private university with a very experimental approach. We don't want people sitting and listening in a class. It's people doing, no? The laboratories that they have, the facilities, are amazing to learning by doing, no? To really explore and to have a lot of teamwork activities.
Yeah.
So in a lot of cases, we don't teach in the classroom. We go to the facility. When we go, for example, our students from the MBA, they are traveling to New York in some weeks. You can tell them about the Madison Square Garden, that you can have a game in the morning about basketball, and in the afternoon in the same facility, ice hockey match, no? But when you go with them to the facility, they are seeing alive. They see one of the games. Later, they have a meeting with the director of operation that explain what is the purpose of this and how they explode all the facility. And later, you have the ice hockey game that is totally different market, sport and everything. Then it's the way to understand, the way to interact with the managers, to really take a lot of ideas, no? The way that we approach to the education is like that. In this school is a lot of experiences, more than theory or just books. They have to do, they have to understand, they have to develop their own minds, having a lot of different thoughts and different experiences and different approach from the industry, no? I think
and I think that's really important what you're touching on, especially two things that I think is very important that we talk about. One is obviously we're talking about offering both like programs in both English and in Spanish, which is a very key factor, not only for, educating, I guess, your peer Spanish, people, but actually having people from abroad, coming, like whether that's Norwegians, like Americans, like all over the world can come and like, learn, I guess the Spanish and the European side of the industry. And then another thing that I think is important as well that you touched upon is like those, going abroad, and visiting, like you said, like Madison Square Garden, like going to other places and get that international perspective, because at the end of the day, the sport industry is so globally connected. And so getting that touches and pieces of, okay, how does this, industry work, and how does that also impact, maybe, Real Madrid as a club, how does it impact, maybe, other kind of activities and events that are happening in Spain, that kind of like, I guess some of the students there are like more, heavily involved. It will give them more that, as you were saying, like a better understanding of how the industry works. And I guess like as well with going more on those, international experiences and course, and I guess like, what is the right word? I guess like experiences that they are approaching here, then how do you sort of like, I guess, facilitate that process of going abroad, like to these like Madison Square Garden and these other activities? Like, what is your picture in terms of like helping them understanding that?
Yeah, well, I have to say that it's in our DNA in the school,
Right.
because we are now saying hello to the different groups these days, because we started the programs in the autumn intake just this week and the last week. Yeah. And I'm so happy when I visit the groups and I say hello, welcome to the students, and I can see that I always ask, can you tell me your nationality, just to guess what we have in the class. In some of the courses we don't have any single Spanish. There is no one from Spain, or in some other courses we have 2 or 3. And the good thing is not just how many international students we have, that is like 70% of our students, it's more the diversity. You can see people from all the continents in the same class. You realize that we don't have to talk a lot about globalization, because it's
it's already global.
It's percent.
No, the classroom is global.
And the kind of people that is attracted to our programs, some of them are already global per se, because I have like 2 nationalities. I have lived here, but I'm working there. So this is a goal that what we have in the classroom. When you finish one of our courses, at the end you learn what is happening in India, in China, United States, in Brazil, Mexico, in all the places, because you have classmates. And we also encourage the students, because when we make teamwork, we always mix nationalities. It's mandatory. We cannot repeat a nationality. And also what we do, also the faculty they are very international. And if they are Spanish, they have this international background. All of them are, very well connected in the sense of telling what is happening there. Some of our programs, I think almost all of them, have the possibility to make a trip. I mentioned the one to New York, but other group go to London, other group go to Portugal, other group goes to Germany, Amsterdam, Switzerland. I don't want to New York. Oh no, New York also, in California.
All over the world,
Exactly. But always with this intention of open their minds, what is happening over there, and also being in another culture, and then understand that in the States, the way that they understand the entertainment, the sport like an entertainment, is totally different. That's Europe, that you are concentrated in the game and nobody is just following the ball. We are at the beginning a little shock, but later you understand that there is they attract the whole family. When you go to the stage, you see that they go the father, the mother, the 3 kids, and they are just enjoying the afternoon, not just following the game. And also I have to say that that's another good thing that is we had now a lot of dual programs, dual degrees with United States, Florida International University, Stephen Institute, UCLA, Columbia University. we are doing for those of them like mandatory to be at least 2 weeks here in Madrid, understanding, having these meetings with the managers, but also understanding that the industry and the sport industry in Europe is quite different.
Yeah.
And also offering our students this possibility to do networking. That is probably one of the best things when they finish, no? When you finish and you say, okay, I finished my degree, I learned a lot, I have some interests, I have a lot of connection with my professor, but I have like 50 people, depending if you are very open, 100 contacts from different countries that are working in the sport industry. And when you try to work or you try to start a business, you have a lot of opportunities there, no? Just, calling this classmate that you have, and now he's in a federation or he's in the Olympic Committee or whatever. And this is really amazing for them. Then the globalization is in the moment that you enter in the door or you enter in the system, you realize that is something different. No?
Yeah, and I think that's a very important, viewpoint as well from people like coming in, I guess, from the outside and looking for programs in a sense too, of like understanding that, that you're just not arriving in a, very Spanish environment, if you know what I'm saying, kind of like just like that you're just, I'm here and I'm like, totally. I mean, like it's cool getting adapted and like learning something else, but it sort of like gives that very, feeling of being part of something, that it's easily to be integrated, and having those international, peer students and experiences like will help, create that experience.
I have to say that they also integrate very well in Madrid and in the Spanish life, because at the end, we enjoy life.
Right.
To be honest, in my experience, most of them want to stay longer in Madrid.
That's a big city, So
yeah, it's a lot of opportunities, and at the end, I'm so happy when they want to be here, but also when our students want to go abroad. At the end, I think it should be almost mandatory to spend 1 semester, 1 year in another city, and it is possible in a different language, because then it's even more encouraging you to open your mind.
No, I totally support that. And I guess, like, if we talk a little bit about as the Real Madrid Graduate School are one of the leading sports programs in Europe, and of course we're working with one of the best clubs in the world, how do you ensure sort of like a top quality standard from across the professors, the programs, and the student experience? When we talk a little bit about from online to on campus as well, which is 2 different things, and how do you kind of like ensure that across the board, I guess?
Yeah, that's a great question also. This week we started that I mentioned before. We say hello to every single group with not just myself, also with Mr. Emilio Butragueño, who is the managing director of the school. Can you imagine? No? The first day of the class, you have Mr. Emilio Butragueño in front of you, talking to you about the values of the school. At the end, we call elite values. And elite means entrepreneurship, leadership, integrity, teamwork, and at the end, excellence. Excellence is like the, it's summarizing like the rest of the values.
Right.
I have to say that the excellence that you are mentioning right now is something that you have when you wear the Real Madrid t-shirt. Let me put this example. All the players say, when you wear the Real Madrid t-shirt, you have to do your best every single moment.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same in the school. Since the beginning, the expectations of the students are so high that we all do our best in everything. From the beginning, when we design the programs, the Real Madrid managers are there, but also the managers of the industry. When we talk about the director of the program, we have one director in the day-to-day from the university, but the co-director from Real Madrid is, for example, in the sport law, is the director of law in the club. When we talk about physiotherapy, is the director of physiotherapy in the club, no?
Yeah.
So we have the standards there. We guarantee always a lot of presence of Real Madrid professionals in the faculty. Lot of special access to different experiences that nobody has, not just to the club, to the Real Madrid, but also to other with other sport entities, no?
Right.
Well, of course, we have meetings with our students like 3 times in the year to be sure that we can do it our best, that we are doing the best, and if we can do something better, try to have it into account. The faculty, if they are not ranked 4/5, they cannot continue with us. Every single year they have like surveys. So the standards of quality has to be like that, because it's what the students are requiring, the club is requiring, and ourselves. We understand that this is a premium school, and the way to do it is it's in the structure of the school, of course, but also it's in the day-to-day. No, we have all the team is like understand very well that the quality of everything has to be premium, independently of the way the program or the modality that you are choosing. If it is online, of course, again, the kind of the material that you have, the videos that we record for the online programs are special. The webinars that they have are again with the top managers. The possibility to come to have some campus-based experiences are also high quality. So in everything has to be like everything when you wear the Real Madrid t-shirt, that is do your best in everything all the time. No?
Are they getting a Real Madrid Graduate School jersey as well, so they can? Maybe that's a new idea, you know, like to give all the students on the first day like a Real Madrid Graduate School jersey, so they can like have that physical stamp on it.
I have to tell you that we are so open that the first day of the class, sometimes we have people with a different t-shirt, sometimes very in front like of the team. But it has to be very open, because at the end is very well. No, we are teaching from the best professionals. You don't have to be a follower of Real Madrid. A lot of them are, but we have, you know, different fans, and then it's much more interesting, no? Because they even, you know, play during the year, like my team is doing theirs or my other team is doing that. That's also a good experience.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's important to have those. I guess that also creates healthy discussions in the classroom, you know, like, you know, just how, you know, one club in La Liga, for instance, like is doing their marketing strategy compared to maybe Real Madrid. And like, you know, it creates a lot of interesting conversation more naturally as well, which is, you know, you shouldn't, you know, you should really appreciate those as well, because it's more like healthy. And as you were saying, like, bringing the mindset of the students to think themselves, right? Which is what you want at the end of the day.
Totally. At the end, the university has to be open to all the discussion, and it's very important to have students with a critical thinking. And the way to have a critical thinking is to have all the different approach, no? And sometimes we even have a case study that is a little, you know, doesn't have. Sometimes the answer is not black or white. You have a lot of multiple options. Sometimes we try to interact the discussion, even missing some master degrees. For example, we put together the master in, I don't know, for example, the sport training with sports nutrition. And then one is approaching from the point of view of the trainer that, okay, the coach needs the player already, and the nutritionist say, okay, or the physiotherapist say, okay, we need some time to be sure that the player can do it. Not. Then we love to do that. Like we have all kind of programs, try to put students from different degrees with different approaches, not just nationality or things, even different approaches because of the profession. Because at the end, in the profession is an added value when you understand the others, when you are able to collaborate. No, then we try to put all the time this kind of interaction to be sure that they have a critical thinking, a critical approach, and creativity for all the problems that they may have in the future. No?
And a lot of problems will arise. So
hopefully, it's a good signal.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess you know, in a positive way, you know, like challenges come and have to solve them, right? So it's
challenge better than
challenge.
Always is a challenge.
But let's talk a little bit about, of course, like like for the last 15 years, you've been educating, you know, the future, I guess, leaders in sports, and obviously, you know, what have been some of the key lessons you learned that the new students are benefiting from today? Because I mean, like, it's been 15 years of like educating these future leaders, and I mean, like, it's always good to be sort of like at the side where when it's been warm a few years, and what's sort of like been some of the lessons, I guess?
I have to tell you that we have lessons every single day. Okay,
right.
Every single day we have it, and it's true. Like we do these meetings at least 3 per year with the students. Every single year I say, okay, because of the students of last year mentioned that we can improve this, you have this year that thing, no? And that's the good thing, no? That's every year you can do things different, also because society and necessities also change, no?
Right.
But I have to say, let me choose something. For sure, what I mentioned before, the transdisciplinary, my God, this word is difficult in Spanish and in English, transdisciplinary approach, to be sure that they understand, the people from the law area understand the marketing, and the business understand the football, and the nutrition understand the psychology, that they understand the industry like a whole thing, and that they understand the other professions that they will have to work with. I think this is like very important. Every time we try to promote more and more this multiple approach to the reality. I would say, of course, internationality. We encourage to the students to do networking, with this thing that I mentioned, to put together people from as different nationalities as possible. Sometimes even you have countries that have a political conflict, and when you put these students in the same group, you realize that, oh my God, why they don't do that? Because they work perfectly, no? They understand each other much better. So I think this is good always. Technology, for sure, everyone knows, but we include a lot of all the things that are happening, all the technology, all the tendencies in its field, no? That's important, because at the end, when the students go to the internship, sometimes I love when people in the corporation say, okay, how is possible? They are 21, sometimes they are 25. They have a lot of experience, or some experience in the industry, but they know much more about myself, about what is happening, and they have already a lot of contacts. And I love when they say that, because it's true that there is a lot of people in the industry that they study when we didn't have a specific studies related to sport, no? So I love when this promotion is so fast, no? About big data, artificial intelligence, digital, in the digital world. They have in all the programs, because of the faculty, because of the facilities that we have, and because of the programs that we offer, no? And the networking, for sure. We have learned, and it's a way that we can even improve more, and we are going to do for sure, to be sure that you can find, it's almost impossible not to find someone from the Real Madrid school in a country, because with the diversity that we have and so many years, then it's important that they find the way to connect, and we are also improving in that way, and we can do even more in the future. You will see, but we are going to do even more.
We're very excited to be part of that future as well. but yeah, no, I mean, like, you're bringing up some really, really important points here, and I guess, like, as well, just having that, I guess, yearly reflection of, okay, what can we do differently? And I guess that kind of like lead me up to the next question as well, which is talking a little bit about the trends, right, in the industry, and sort of like staying on top of them. And obviously, because the industry is changing so rapidly, it's extremely challenging for most organization and academia to stay on top of it. And I guess, how are you and the team, adapting the school to these coming challenges, and what are some of the future trends that you're seeing, and how are you helping, I guess, the students learning about them, because they're coming in, as maybe fresh, just hungry and just wanted to do stuff, but they don't know a lot what's going on.
Okay, let me start. Change the order. No, I will say. I will say first the trends that we are appreciating. Everything is changing. You mentioned, and so fast. But I think that. I'm not sure if the industry realized that we have changed what we are doing that is never more related to just a sport. We are selling entertainment.
Right.
If you are a football club, if you are a gymnasium, if you are whatever you are, at the end you are selling entertainment, because people is very busy and they want to enjoy whatever that we do. I have 3 kids, 11, 9, and 5 years old. If it is boring, okay, forget it. They are not going to pay attention, okay?
Yeah.
Then first, the market is changing. The concept is never more a sport, it's entertainment. You are competing with Netflix. You are competing with everything that can take the time of your customers, no?
Right.
I will say also globalization for sure, and in this sense we have an advantage because of what they find in the school. Imagine that you are a gymnasium and you say, I'm local, I have here my gymnasium, and the people that come to my gymnasium is maximum 3-4 kilometers from the gymnasium. No, that is not true, because if tomorrow you have a platform that offer open classes with Jennifer Lopez and I'm just inventing, okay? In Miami, okay, they are based in Miami, but they take the people that live around of your gymnasium. He's now in the, or she's in the now in the app, no, doing exercises with Jennifer Lopez instead of going to your gymnasium. Then it changed a lot, and they have to realize. And I will say that even the currency that we are using is never more just talk about money. How much money, what is the price? I think it's more about time. If the customer is, if you are so interested to put my time in your business, okay? If you entertainment, maybe I'm going to the soccer game for 2 hours. Right. But if it is not entertainment, it's not a question of money. Sometimes it's a question of time. We are so fast and we don't have time to do anything. So when someone spend 1 year studying with you or 1 hour in your gymnasium, wow, that's gold, because at the end, it's more than money. No, it's the time of your customer. Yeah. So I think we have to totally change the concept of what we are doing. Never more about the sport, is entertainment. And never more about just money, is time and the globalization. So how can we prepare to our students for that? Globalization is in the class, of course, and the rest of things, having this international approach, because when we go to these places, we always choose the best thing, and the best corporations are always very conscient of these things, okay? Then they are learning from the best, and they know that the important thing is the content. The important thing is the approach to attract the customer, no? Like I mentioned before, in the States, they don't attract to one person that go to the game. They attract to the whole family, no? Yeah. Then we are preparing just because of the kind of faculty that are professionals, the kind of classmates that they have, and of course, always with the best facilities, the labs that we have. For example, when they study sport journalism and communication, when they go to the TV plateau or to the radio, they realize some of them are working at the same time, and this is a better facility that I have in my actual radio. That is a real one, no? Or this is better than the TV studio that we have in our media, no? Yeah. So that's the way that we are really trying to prepare our students, and also adapting. In the past, we have just MBA programs. Now we have short courses, most of them online or even tailor-made, that are very appealing for our students. When they finished 15 years ago, they didn't know too much about big data or artificial intelligence. So they have an easy way to have all this learning. Same thing for the industry. Sometimes when you are working, you are not able to spend 1 year. No, then we offer now a lot of flexibility to be sure that you have these skills about specific topics that are important for the industry.
No, 100%, and I think it's adapting to the whole, I guess, lifestyle as well of not just facilitating for the upcoming leaders, but the current leaders as well in the industry of, like, maintaining their knowledge, right, and insights, because you're living like this very fast-paced everyday life in your role, in your task, a lot of stuff. I mean, like there's a saying, right, in football, which is sort of like a game by game lifestyle, so I think a lot of people follow that, and I think it's also what you touch upon in terms of the whole essence of time, because I think especially the new generation, I'm also at this stage, and I think I'm getting old.
Come on, you are the new generation. You are in the new generation. You can say.
I just turned 30, so I don't know anymore.
It's nothing.
But in terms of that, though, I think it's the sooner you're able to realize that you're competing against not only other people playing games, or the clubs, you're competing against all this digital entertainment, and that's what you brought up, the entertainment part of it. Because if you're not getting the value of attending that game, what are you offering that is giving the new generation worth spending the time there? They're not going to do it. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, and the sooner people learn that, and then I guess as well, the new leaders are learning that, the easier they can, I guess, change and impact the industry into adapting to that, because that's going to be very, very key, whether you're, a small club, in say third, fourth division, or even a major team. You have to adapt, because your people around you have those expectations, and expectations are extremely high.
Yeah, and think that sometimes we say this about thinking about new generation, that I talk about my kids, but it's not true, because in fact, my generation, and I'm much older than you, my generation already have the same necessities that the new generation. I also want something interesting. I also want something 24 hours, 7 days. I always want some interaction, no? Mm-hmm. Then at the end, I see my kids, but I see myself. I want the same thing that they want, no? Right. So sometimes we think that we have time because it's for the new generation. They are still kids. No. Sorry, but no. The old generations also want this thing that the new generations we say that they want. But and with the pandemic, I think that is even faster. Everyone says that it's true that. Our concept changed totally. Right. The way that we order food. Come on, I want very quick, a lot of flexibility, because then I can choose, this is for my husband, this is for me, and this is for the kids. No, and we have to be ready for that, because all our world has changed, and if you don't offer something like that, other people is going to do. No, then you have to be prepared for sure.
100%. Well, we're almost here at the end, and I guess for those that have been following us all the way at the end, I guess first of all, how can people that are interested in learning more about the programs, and when is the next upcoming deadline for people to apply if they want to do that?
We are 24 hours, 7 days. This is what we have, because we have multiple options. We just started the campus-based programs, but the online programs are going to start on December, but also will start on February. But on May, we have other intake, the spring intake. Nice. We do a lot of tailor-made programs, sometimes for industry or for corporations. Mm-hmm. We have to adapt. We have to do this flexibility. Sometimes you don't want a full program. You just want something very specific for your people, no? Yeah. And also now with these short courses that I mentioned about big data, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, we offer every single month. Okay, every single month you have the possibility to do it. And it's important. The concept in the sport industry changed a lot, but I think in education even more. So that's the good thing, no? That now we have to adapt very fast to the necessities that people has, and it cannot just be we will start in October until next October. Never more is like that. So I encourage everyone to approach to the education, because it's true that not just because of the things that they are going to learn, that of course is always a great value, but also for the mode, the the orientation that you have when you are learning. No, you are much more open. You are trying to apply everything that you learn to everything that you do. So it's like a specific moment for you to be creative, no, to innovate, to renew your ideas. So I encourage everyone to do it, because it was always needed, but much more now with all the changes that we are facing. I always encourage people to have a time for education.
100%. And it's like you're touching upon too. It's like, you know, with everything happening so fast and how fast paced the sport industry is, like new things will come all the time. So just having that accessibility and I guess like flexibility for people as well to sort of like take that whenever they have the time to, because there's different scenarios, different lifestyles. And as you were saying, it's not everyone who can just commit to like, you know, 1 or 2 years or whatever it is, you know, and just go fully on. But, you know, as always as well, for those who've been watching, you know, if you like this video, you know, make sure to like it, you know, subscribe as well to the YouTube channel, and make sure if you haven't, sign up at sportinglevel.com, you know, follow the Real Madrid Graduate School page there, and you can learn more about the programs, connect with some people there, and, you know, start your journey in the sport industry. So make sure to do that. And with that, Marisa, I would like to thank you, you know, so much for taking the time, you know, for having this great conversation with me and with the Sporting Global podcast. And it was a pleasure having you part of it. And I don't know if you're aware, but we have this tradition on our podcast, which we do with every participant. So we have to do this today as well. So with every podcast we do, we always finish with "Vi snakkes," which means "see you later" in Norwegian. So now you have to learn some Norwegian.
Vi snakkes.
Vi snakkes.
Vi snakkes.
It's a really good attempt.
Say again.
Vi snakkes.
Vi snakkes.
There we go. Great job. Wow. I put you on the spot there. I'm sorry, but it was good for everyone. That's a great way to finish it, you know, some Norwegian.
Not easy, but I will try. I will try to learn more things next time.
No, I'll make sure you learn a lot of Norwegian. All right. Thank you so much, Marisa. And have a good day. And everyone else as well. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the sweet spot.